Now, what if I told you the developer from GTA who helped make part 3 and 4 and 5 successful is making a brand new studio and creating not one, not two, but multiple games, all in a big plan to give us something unique that you've never seen before? Well, today we're going to get into a lot of this conversation and discussion because I'm so excited about it. And I hope you are as well, as I've been breaking down a game called Mindseye. And I think that people are going to be surprised when they find out the bigger picture behind this. You see right there, Leslie Benzie, the top tier man himself. And I want to kind of just highlight him for a second here. He's the game director, right? And he's been a big part of GTA's success. If you maybe don't play GTA, that's fine, but you sure have heard of it if you're a gamer. And he is a big reason why it was successful. And he has his own studio that happens to be pretty damn cool, guys. I actually love what they're doing. They're called Build a Rocket Boy, right? And Barb is what we'll call them. And they're working with IOI partners. You guys know I love Hitman. It's one of my greatest favorite series ever because I love stealth. But man, oh man, this game is looking unique. And I want to kind of just give you guys some of what Leslie has been saying, as well as other developers on the team, about this project and what they're doing with it. All right. There's two projects that I want to kind of mainly talk about. If you've been on my channel, you know what they are. Mindseye is the one you're watching right now, which is actually a story-driven game focused on an amazing character who, you know, is going through it. Jacob Diaz. Was a military guy who has a crazy past, and he has a neural link that's caused him a lot of struggle, and it's called Mindseye, by the way. And that's what you just saw. And now basically he's in this thick world of high-tech, futuristic elements, a lot of military, a lot of villains, and great times for us, the players, right, that we're going to be experiencing. And so to me, I cannot wait for it. I think it's going to be a blast to get into this universe and explore what they're trying to offer with it. I do want to kind of get into a little bit when it comes to what the developers were really trying to do with this project. When I originally saw it, I'm guessing just like you guys, said, is this an open world game? Is this GTA? And, you know, we kind of joked about it on my streams at first. And then, of course, what it really is a narrative driven game where they're not trying to give you a 80-hour experience. They want to give you something that respects your time. And this is what Leslie was talking about. I want to respect your time and offer a truly cinematic experience with fun gameplay that can kind of drive the player into discovering the meaningful content behind the story, universe, and everything that's happening in between. And this is where his main points were when being interviewed and discussed about it. And I thought that was incredible just because it was refreshing. You know, I'm used to playing these big games and I love it. But getting a game that's $60, right? And it's straightforward, like you're going to play this experience. You know what you're getting out of it and you don't got to guess. I think that is pretty damn cool, in my opinion. Of course, we need more gameplay footage. We need to be able to get more details on it. I'm already sold because I have all this key information that I'm going to be sharing with you guys that I love about it. And I do think that a lot of people that are like me will end up enjoying this vastly. And it's super interesting to kind of get into that thought process of where they're going with it and how they want to, you know, offer something unique with this game. And as we talk about it, you know, I want to talk about some of the key things that they discussed with the design and things like that. All right. So since it is narrative driven, you have a character who's not superhero, you know, magical powers or anything like that. He's a regular guy. Of course, he's a little cybernetic with his mind's eye neural implant, but he's basically going to be running and gunning, shooting, but he has to have tactical aspects and things like that. And they said they wanted to make this a thriller to keep fans engaged and to go forward. And one of the craziest things that they talked about that I absolutely love is that within this game, there's another universe that's going to expand as well that you can use. Let's say, we talked about Everywhere in my previous video, but for those that don't know, Everywhere is actually a game where you're capable of creating your own world, a whole open world if you want, different little smaller modes and missions. And Everywhere has the tools. It's called Arcadia, where you're capable of creating anything you want that they have in there and create your own setups and formats and systems and building things and combining things together. And you're looking at some of the footage of that. This is a different game, but it connects to Mindseye. And the discussion was to take all the elements and aspects from Mindseye that they can and import them into this Everywhere game that they have as well. And what's going to happen is you're capable of making a mission within Mindseye. So maybe you playing Everywhere and you make a mission, and then your friend plays your mission that you designed in Mindseye by going to one of these portals that they have in the game. And this is what Leslie was explaining. It's going to be a fun way to kind of pull people back into replayable missions where somebody created this world and now it's filled with zombies and monsters or something, and just wacky stuff as people usually do. And they described one where somebody was playing the piano and things like that. And it was just funny stuff. As you can see, there's racing and different elements that you can add into the game that I think is going to be interesting. And then to have Mindseye in there, it's going to be incredible in my opinion. And what's more outrageously inspiring is that next year in 2026, they also plan to release an open world game. Now, the question is, what is that open world game? How will that work? And will it be any good? We don't know. But once we get our hands on Mindseye, which I will be covering, then we can talk about, wow, this is a cool experience. We know more or less what they did here was good. I definitely love Everywhere. I did play a closed beta and all this stuff. I don't want to get too deep into my experience, but as you can see, this is a unique thing where you have a lot of tools. You can play other people's elements and go into this. So this to me is automatic. Everywhere is a guaranteed. I can say this off before it even launches, that this is going to be a fun thing to go into and try people's amazing worlds that they create. The question is, they're single player games or they're co-op games. They're making an open world co-op game next year. Will that be something that we can all enjoy as well? And if it isn't, will the tools from that go into Everywhere and we use them to create our own worlds and make fun stuff? And it could be making something that maybe you didn't enjoy that experience, but these elements make it even better. And so this is kind of where the inspiration for me is like, wow, they're going to allow us to just remake the whole world. You imagine your favorite open world area, whatever city, whatever location you love, and they say, hey, here's the tools. You can go in and change it up, take out some buildings, add some monsters, put this in there, and turn it into your world. And that is so inspiring as somebody who loves it. And this is something that the developers were discussing about trying to empower the players. And, Leslie was explaining as well how in our current state of gaming, a lot of times people are just making live service games and they're not giving you one experience. So that's why they have the story experience, like the Mindseye linear story driven game. Then next year they'll put out the open world game where you're capable of co-oping and having a good time with. Then they have Everywhere, which you're watching now, that allows you to expand on those experiences and create your own versions and different things like that, which is such an amazing thing, in my opinion, to see where would that go. Okay, and how will we play this? Again, Minecraft comes to mind, Roblox and Dream PS4. Those three games are spectacular if you've ever seen any of the user-based games. And I'm curious on how far will this one go. And I look like I might make a game out of this as well, guys. So maybe we'll build a team. But that is something that I'm super interested in. And, I just wanted to talk about Leslie's ambition here with the 8 episodes that they described that they're looking to help people create reworking their own missions, you know, plug and play aspects. It's crazy to think that they have 8 games planned. First one is the single player, linear story driven thriller that you saw, which is Mindseye. And then from there, they're moving on into the open world game with co-op next year. And then they'll keep on expanding, offering different elements. Then you can take those tools and do what you will, rework them to make your own experience. And so that to me is spectacular, and I'm all for this. And if you watch my previous videos, we've been diving into the overview of Mindseye, and then we did a Everywhere video, and this one is more a focus on some of the things that was said by Leslie himself that I feel very excited and inspired by. And then speaking of inspired, and I'm going to dive deeper into the story and the lore that we have so far that was explained in detail, and also some nice mission details. That's on my next video with this game that should be popping up on your screen. Make sure you go check that out. And if you're still here, make sure you leave a like and build up that channel. I love you guys, man. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.